Hello everyone, welcome to the channel that brings you spiritual, multi-dimensional content, which means that the readings are from a very expanded point of view and also that they're not for a specific time and should resonate with you whenever you come across them. So this is the first episode of a chakra alignment series that I'm going to be doing. So we're starting with the root / earth chakra. We're going to go all the way up to the crown. Basically, I don't know, between now and like the next 2 months, I'll still release zodiac videos. I'm also got a surprise for you guys. I've got another set of videos, starseeds. There, I told you I'm gonna do starseed videos. And yeah, in between that, you'll basically notice that these chakra alignment sessions pop in, right? So yeah, today we're starting with the root chakra, the earth chakra, and our access point into this chakra is forgiving yourself for ... So the root chakra deals with or the earth chakra deals with our survival mode, basically. How it feels to be here instinctually, of which for a lot of people it's actually quite scary. It's touch and go. Not having a broader perspective of who you are makes it so that you're afraid of your surroundings, right? Which triggers obviously like a fight or flight mechanism within us, which is what we now call our normal like adrenaline system, when actually it's actually centered around a blockage within this chakra. Because once there isn't a blockage in this chakra, once there is flow within the root or earth chakra, you feel safe, you feel provided for, you feel supported, right? And that basically allows you to, it's the foundation, it allows you to build upon it, like shit, your city, your kingdom, your world, right? One that is not, yeah, it's not pillars of salt. Like, it's not gonna just crash one day because you actually have no idea who you are, but it will instead, it allows space for growth. So even if you are surpassing a certain concept and it's time to go to the next one, your whole world is not gonna wither and like, die or tumble down like the tower card. Instead, it will just extend, like grow. So you kind of end up with this system of who you are. But because it's based in truth and not coming from a place of fear, you have a much stronger yet flexible operating system, right, within yourself. The root or the earth chakra has a connotation of fear, right, and darkness. And it's actually not that. Like I said, it's your foundation chakra. It influences a lot how your other chakras flow, right? It has a lot to do with what you believe in about yourself, and that's why we're starting it off with forgiving yourself for, because this chakra is blocked in a lot of people. We have people not being able to understand themselves to a point where you understand all your actions, all your thought patterns. And especially in the spiritual community, you find a lot of subliminal self-hate, because there's this perception of, I'm supposed to be this kind of person, I'm not supposed to be this kind of person, especially if I want to be spiritual or so forth. And I guess in life in general, even if you're not a spiritual person, people walk around with who they think they should be compared to who they are, and that causes these subliminal pockets of self-hate. And this tarot reading specifically is designed to clear up those energetic pockets that we refer to as earth or root chakra, right? And clear them up how? By giving you a better perspective of who you are. So let's get into it. Yeah, right off the bat, I'm getting that a lot of you feel like you're not where you should be in life, right? The people that are tuned into this reading, there is a feeling of wasted time. Your reading starts with the Five of Cups, which is about loss, loss of opportunities, loss of time. That's what I'm getting here from a perspective point of view. I'm getting someone that views themselves as someone who has lost a lot of time, has lost opportunities based on like not living up to your full potential. That's interesting. So the people I'm talking to, I think that's interesting for me to find out that you believe, so you realize, you know that you have a lot of potential. You know that you are extraordinary. You know that you have the ability to pull off something huge, right? But oh, and like okay, based on this potential that you see in yourself, when you match that up to the life around you, I'm just getting that you don't see a match. You feel like you could be doing more, basically. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna tell you why you are facing this kind of like wall when it comes to what you perceive to be what you're capable of and the life you're living right now, right? And the reason why it's not a match is because, oh, wow, I've never used those words, but for the first time, I know what they mean. You're not living up to your full potential. I've never used that line. And I understand why. It's because I've never understood it. I'm literally understanding it now for the first time. Um, you're not using all the Legos. Like, you're not using all the parts. There's parts of yourself that you are afraid of using because of a certain um, conditioning in the world. So, whatever it is, let's say maybe there's a way in which, let's say, you know how to generate money, but based on how you've been raised, um, maybe that was called cheating, or it's called, I don't know, just immoral or something like that, right? I know people who won't work for a cigarette making company because they think cigarette smoking is wrong, so they don't want to be paid by institutions like that and so forth. There's people that I know that won't work for alcohol companies because they don't drink and they think that's wrong, and they've made a connection between that, who they are, and their needs and their money, and therefore it stops them from achieving certain things because there's certain places they won't go, and that's what it means to not live up to your potential. Ding ding ding. So yeah, basically you're literally not living up to your potential, and it's because you're not using all the parts of yourself to get what you want. And it's interesting because that's actually what potential means. Potential means like potential is all the Legos, like all the things that you have at your disposal, right? In order to do whatever it is that you want to do. You have potential, which is to say you have a lot of tools at your disposal. Even if these tools, maybe you're not seeing them, like they're not maybe in financial form or in the form of influential friends or family member, or it's not in the form of an Ivy League school, right? That's not how your potential is. But your potential may be in your way that you perceive people, right? Your potential may be in that you know how to seduce money out of people, right? Your potential may be that you could sell the ocean to a mermaid. Like, yes, that was cheesy, but like you get my point. Like you can basically sell anything to anyone. Like that might be your potential. I'm just getting that you have unconventional potential, but you insist on living a conventional life. So you're coming up short. And you know this is what I'm getting. So I just got like pushed back into forgiving yourself for. It's like you're in the state. Okay, that's cool, that's great. So what I'm getting, everything that I was just talking about now, that's the way you've lived like up until a certain point, but right now you are realizing, if not by this reading, then I've caught you in the middle of a realization that you maybe didn't have words for, and these are the words for that, that you're realizing that you need to use all your powers to build the life that you want, because the life that you want is based on the powers that you have. So if you don't use all your powers, you don't get the full life that you desire. Like when you were given the image or the inspiration for the life that you want, you then got given the tools, right, to create that life. But if you don't use all the tools, then those tools are personalized to the life that you want. So you're forgiving yourself for taking so long to be who you really are. You're forgiving yourself for shutting yourself off and wanting to be like everyone else, because it seems like now you're kind of realizing exactly what I just said, that the tools you have are personalized to your path in life. It might not be suitable for other people, but it's not their fucking life. Your plan is not their plan. And I think you're also realizing how personal that is, right? On a root chakra like level. Like how that is a fire that is lit just for you. Everyone has their own fire, right? And your fire was given certain aspects. It may be that you're witty, it may be that you're sexy, it may be that you are shrewd, like in business um dealings or whatever, right? Whatever it is specifically for you. And yeah, you've got the four of swords. You've got the four of swords here, which talks about that, about retrospection and contemplation, and how coming to peace with something. You're coming to peace with who you are. You're coming to peace with all the things that make up who you are, and therefore coming to peace with your desires. Your desires are now not feeling so foreign and fake, because you had developed this fake version of yourself. I'm gonna call it that, because if you don't use all the Legos and you use the Legos you do have to make another avatar other than the one that's already there, that's fake. And also it's just it's too much work. You're finally in a space where you're able to further your plans for what you want in life. And that's because you're at a place where you've accepted your own nature. Or this is a space that you're going to be in. You're going to heal this earth chakra wound of wanting to be like everybody else. Um, because we're given the idea that it's better to be like that than to be yourself, because otherwise you'll be alone. So you're dealing with that, with the alone versus with others. What are the benefits of loving myself? It's that I can stand myself, and therefore it's not alone, because also I'm building a whole life. Do you know what I mean? I'm just getting that you're really restructuring your pillars of life here, right? Yeah, there's a lot of mending happening within you right now, collective, and this mending is going to result in flow. It's going to result in flow, and flow results in financial abundance, love that makes sense, connections that are mutually beneficial, um, energy that is reciprocated, and all of that good stuff, right? Basically. And the reason why this is because you're not so angry anymore about who you are. And you're also not so angry about not understanding who you are and what you are. And that's being brought about because you are now in a state where you have more understanding of who you are and the aspects that make up who you are, and therefore make up the life that you're going to live. Um, as much as at some level and at some point, it obviously is about the collective. Like you'll realize that as we go through the um the chakra series. But this part, this specifically, root chakra, earth chakra, is about a lot of things, but at a certain point, this is where self-love is cultivated, because this is where we are given the perspective of who we are and how who we are affects other people. And with this Emperor card, I'm also just realizing that you may have experienced your power through lower vibrational beings, which means that you were perceived as bossy, or as controlling, and you could have been those things within the shadow parts of your personality, especially if you're trying to um run from your personality. The shadow parts of that could have been that, like controlling and bossy and overtaking and um you know, abusive even. But the balancing out of that energy, you understanding where it applies in your life, to be who you are, which is all the time who you are is for you. Then you mold that into versions that can connect with everything else in the world. But this stage, this here, this you, right? It's interesting because like the Emperor is like Aries, and for me Aries reminds me of the root chakra, because that's takeoff. And it's the most important. It's the most important because your whole city of who you are, your citadel is built on this, is built on this chakra, this alignment in your life, right? Beginning with, this is who I am. I love who I am because it supports my whole life. It makes it so that everything is simple. You know what? What you were doing here before is like kind of like being a lion, let's say, and being like, it's bad to eat antelope and zebra. I'm gonna be good, and to be good, I'm gonna eat grass with the other herbivore. Like, you're not helping anyone be. You're not helping the ecosystem. You're not helping yourself. Like, the lion that eats grass. But you also want to be the king of the jungle. That's what I'm seeing here. So, obviously, as you go up the chakra system, up the operating system that is you, it was kind of collapsing in a lot of ways because your foundation was crap. It could even be the other way around. It could be a zebra that is like, no, I grew up in like a family where people are bold and have big personalities and have a very like Leo, feel. But you're a zebra, and now you're like, I'm gonna eat meat, even though your system, your Legos are vegetarian like Legos, and you will thrive there. Instead, though, you were influenced because you were told that it's weak to be how you are. Why would you eat grass? Like, do you get what I'm saying? The point is just that be okay with it all. And that's another thing. I'm just making examples with the lion and the zebra, but most of us are actually multidimensional in the sense of that we are the lion and the zebra. So maybe that will help you somehow too. Um, yeah, that brings us to the end of this chakra alignment session. Um, I hope you guys are looking forward to the rest of them and to everything else that I'm doing on this channel. And yeah, see you guys later.